One of the most controversial medical figures during the pandemic was probably Dr. Deborah Birx, because she was on the inside and we believe that she did some good work, but she also occasionally wouldn't call out Trump like during his bleach moments. And she said some things that really unfortunate about him early on. Now that he is gone, she is being more open about the process along the way. And she's receiving some support from people who generally are a little bit more trusted in this area. So we're gonna run through all of that, including first here some video. This is coming from CNN's weekend autopsy of the pandemic and the failures to deal with it. So here she is talking about what she thinks could have been done to save lives and how many lives might have been able to have been saved.
Well, I look at it this way. The first time we have an excuse, there were about 100,000 deaths that came from that original surge. All of the rest of them, in my mind, could have been mitigated or decreased substantially.
Okay, so it's the sort of thing that obviously gets a lot of headlines. And look, her saying it does mean more than some random joker online, but I feel like we've been saying that, and it seems like the most obvious thing in the world, Francesca. A lot of lives could be saved if we had done things.
Yeah, very brave stance, a year later. Now that you're out of the administration and the eyes of the world aren't really on you. I mean, yeah, yes, we've been saying this from jump, and yeah, Dr. Birx has been trying to save herself since, she allowed so much BS to pass through her and was sort of tapped once again because of her fancy scarves and her elegance to be like the Trump whisperer. And so I've said this before, I don't envy her position, but you have a position, you have a responsibility, and your job isn't really to be a groomer of the president. He's ungroomable, okay? That pony don't want to get his tail brushed. He wants to just gallop around. You're gonna have to be the one to tell us the truth. 1 year later, we're getting it. I mean, to be honest with you, why stop here, right? What about a criminal case? What about actually holding people accountable? Deborah Birx in some ways is trying to walk back and distance herself as far away from this administration as possible, just in case we would ever do something like that under President Biden. I don't see it happening, but man, I think it should.
Yeah, I think one of the weirdest things about all of this is, like, first of all, basically as president, you can't go down for anything. But the things that in theory you could are always way smaller and more specific and less consequential than the things that you never could, Like they got Nixon, but but if Trump failed and 300,000 people died who didn't have to, well, that's politics in America. Maybe we'll get them next time. Isn't that weird?
Yep.
Isn't that weird? Like, I don't know, man. Like for instance, if I was working the fries at McDonald's and I dropped a rat in there, I could, there's failures that you can get fired for in every other. I don't know why I had the rat.
No, yeah, but if all of the fries have a little bit of rat feces in them,
yeah,
and a bunch of people die from E. coli, yeah, you don't, that's
it's
just
weird that, yeah. Anyway, there's rat feces all over America.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. It's like we always waited for him to go out on Fifth Avenue and shoot someone, and he didn't quite do that. But I think he did one better when it comes to murder and taking lives with him, and his ineptitude and his ego and lies. So hey, hats off to the guy who I don't know if we'll ever have justice for the amount of lives. I know there's a class action lawsuit waiting for sure.
Yeah, no, I don't think that we will. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.